What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the shop. We have Chucky's DirtyBird in the house, getting some updates and maybe some new Go Fast goodies as well. So stick around, and we got some cool stuff going. All right, so first off, the car has been in the mid-10s, and it's got just a regular, like a traditional 5-point roll bar. So standard, you know, main hoop, and just a one door bar on the driver's side. Just very bare minimum to make it legal for running down to 10.0. So we're gonna cut all that out and put a 10-point, just a mild steel 10-point cage. It'll be good at 850. We'll get it certified and all that. So lots of stuff to do to prep. So let's go ahead and get into it. All right, well, Chucky and Uncle Chuck are already back in Michigan, and they've left the car with me. We did go ahead and get the car all stripped down, so we're ready to put the cage in. I've already started to get some of it done. I've got the main hoop set, so it's tacked into place. That ratchet strap is pulling it in a little bit to help with fitment some. And I use ratchet straps a lot when I'm putting in cages. So as you can see, I've got the halo right now. It's untrimmed and just kind of sitting in there. But I've got 3 ratchet straps in there holding that dude in. I mean, that's just part of doing this stuff on your own. So got the down bars all placed, so that's good. And we went ahead and we've got our floor plates figured out for the bars that we're adding. And got of course the dashes all out of it so that we can get the A-pillar bars down behind it. So it's gonna look really good. So I'm really excited about how this one's gonna come around. And then of course we're gonna fix some of the wiring and stuff like that while we're at it. So, but definitely already a good start. So let's keep going. All right, so we've got a good bit going on the car already, but before I move forward, you really got to think about the small space that I work in. This is just a 24 by 24 shop, and where I've got things located as far as like my belt grinder and where my welder has to be and stuff based on where outlets are, I tend to have to reposition cars quite often. So that's actually what I'm going to go ahead and do, just to reduce the amount of steps, because I've got to go and do the A-pillar bar on the passenger side of the car, and the belt grinder is over here on this wall, which is on the driver's side of the car. And with the way the car's in here, with the doors open, I'll have to walk all the way around the car and then around the door and back in. That's a lot of steps. So, just take 10 minutes sometimes and reposition stuff to where it makes things a little easier, and all of a sudden, like, your working, I guess your working attitude gets a lot better. So these are the kinds of things that kill motivation. People just are like, you know what, I don't even want to deal with it. So, but let's go ahead and get this swapped around, and we'll get back to work. All right, now you can see kind of what I mean. Like, it's a much more straight shot to go from the belt grinder and the saw down there to where we're going to be working. So go ahead and get this 8-pillar bar fitted. All right, so there's a few things that I do with fitting these 8-pillars that might help somebody if they're trying to do it themselves. You really want these things to be as similar looking as possible, so that when you're looking at the cage from the outside in, that it looks uniform, and it looks like you meant to put it in there. So it flows with the body lines, stuff like that. And these prevent kits from S&W are pretty good in that regard. So a couple of things that I do. Now, anybody that's spent any time working on a 3rd gen F-body knows that they're pretty asymmetrical. So you can't really make just mirrored cuts, for one side to the other. Like I fit that A-pillar in, it took me maybe an hour and a half or something like that. And if I was just to like take those measurements and copy them and put them over here, well, it's not going to fit right. The floor is a different shape and a different height and everything else, so it would end up being goofy. So typically what I do is I make that side more or less as long as it can be, and then this side, the floor is raised a little bit because this is where the factory exhaust would route, and so I make my adjustments on this side. So so I guess a couple of things that I do just to start off here is, one, I need to figure out where on the halo I want this to land. And what I did was I took a measurement over there of a common point, not necessarily saying that it's the most square point or whatever, but like, basically what I did was this trim piece for the A-pillar for the where the T-top goes in, I just took a measurement from there over on the driver's side to where the edge of the tube lands. So then I did that over here on this side, and I put a mark on the halo, and I'm going to make this A-pillar bar land on that part of the halo. And then I found another common spot, like this is the dash mount, and it's pretty sturdy, and there's one on both sides, and they're both, I believe they're both the same height from here to here. So then what I did was I took this measurement down to the floor on both sides and found that this area of the floor is, in this case, 1.25 higher, I would definitely take your own measurements based on wherever you're putting stuff. But in this case, an 1.25 inches higher. So I'm going to start off by cutting an 1.25 inches off of this leg of the A-pillar. So, because otherwise, if I was to leave this the same height, then this bend would be higher than the bend over there, and it would look fine. So that's what we're doing. Well, so far we've managed to get all the bars in except for one. We got one more bar to do. Be the driver's side door bar, and gonna match the angle of the passenger side. The height off the floor. Remember, like I said, the floor is not symmetrical, so the height off the floor is going to be different. It'll be a little bit higher off of the floor down here on this side than on the other side. So I blocked that one up so that we had some kind of consistency for when I was fitting. And it's not even tacked in there since this is all going to kind of come apart anyways to get welded. And I'll show you guys what I mean here in a little bit. But yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and get the passenger side, or I'm sorry, driver's side door bar fitted. It'll be at the same angle. It'll terminate at the on the height at the main hoop here. Here, let me get you over here so you can see. Oh. Sorry, I still got you on the tripod. It's kind of tough to navigate around here. There we go. So I'm gonna see it mark that one at the top there. So that one is our height. So that'll be where the top of the tube falls. And that is the same as the other side. And then I'm gonna match the angle as best I can within reason. Like I said, the floor height being different as they are. The big thing is kind of cheating it in there and making it look right. So let's go ahead and get this last bar fit. All right, well, I think that's gonna do it for this video, guys. We got quite a bit done. The cage is completely fitted. So the next step will be to blow it apart. We'll actually fully weld quite a bit of that outside of the car. The back half and the front half can both come out pretty easily on these third gens, thanks to the super long, huge, heavy doors that are on this thing. And then once we get that out and we'll get it welded up, we'll paint a good bit of it out of the car. So I'm gonna outline some of that on our next episode as well. And then when we put it all back together, I've got a set of swing outs for the door bars, and we'll get it all fully welded back in there. And don't worry, that sticker right there, I'll take it off, don't worry. So thanks again, guys. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.